One day all of us are going to die, and nobody likes their time being wasted. So when you have to dig through clunky menus to find what you want, wait for some dumbass unnecessary transitions, or just feel confused and overwhelmed by what the hell is happening in front of you, that's bad user experience, or UX, which is a result of some fucking turd-sucking UI. Today we're talking about some dog shit user interface. User interfaces. Let's start by talking about the crown king of crappy UI, Microsoft. While Games for Windows Live is the very obvious example of something that just never quite learned how to read, Windows 8 was also widely hated for its large use of these giant-ass panels to navigate around. A classic example of you tried to simplify things that were already simple, and instead you just kind of gave yourself a swirly. I personally hate this panel-style layout because it never feels like you're quite seeing everything you want to see, yet you feel overwhelmed and claustrophobic from what they're showing. Sadly, the screeching echo of Windows 8's ass-play-riddled panel layout can be heard on the Xbox One, but that's not even the worst offense. Navigating the Xbox One dashboard is a stuttery, slow, and confusing experience that makes you wonder if all the UI designers at Microsoft are actually just blind cats. Meow! Going between panels, selecting the different icons on the billions of different screens riddled with advertisements, opening up the menagerie of submenus to try and find a way to ask a friend if they also want to off themselves. It all feels like a slow, stuttery wedgie that you're receiving at 15 frames per second. Also, say you paid for your Xbox Live membership using a credit card, like I did, and when you go through the slow-ass menus to try to check your subscription info, it tells you that your account is going to auto-renew your subscription whenever it ends using the credit card you put in there. I don't want that. Yet on the Xbox One itself, it doesn't appear there's any option to turn that off. Nope, you gotta go online to the Xbox website and turn it off on there, my little baby. But once it's off and you go back on your Xbox, oh, now I have the option to turn on auto renew. Hey, Microsoft, you and your overpriced and underpowered joke of a console can go to hell. With video games especially, a bad UI sticks out like a sore thumb because we take all the good ones for granted. A very talented artist at Naughty Dog spent many hours and hours and hours on the backpack user interface in The Last of Us, and it definitely shows, because not only does it look good, more importantly, it feels good. Because while you want a pleasing visual style that meshes well with whatever the hell your game is about, you also want something that isn't clunky, overwhelming, or time-consuming, because you're going to be interacting with that son bitch for a while. The weapon wheel was an amazing innovation in console gaming because it gave you a lot of options very quickly to save you time. But how about we pause the entire game to show you a weapon wheel? Just like, what the fuck? Why? Hey Mafia 3, your art looks pretty cool. Good job. I'm really happy you're forcing me to slowly transition through all of it so I could change the fucking graphics settings. Why did you hide the feature to vote on the next map under a button press in this game? Most of the kids playing your game can't even fucking read, so of course no one ever fucking votes. Looking at this screen makes me think that at some point in time there was this big accident, and what I'm looking at now is the PTSD-riddled afterbirth of whatever happened. I feel physical pain when I look at this. Super Smash Bros. Melee had a very cool and easy to navigate list. What the friggin' heck is wrong with that? It had a unique visual style, so it wasn't boring to look at, but it gave you all the information you wanted. But now, everything is hidden under the goddamn panels. Oh, you want to find a single-player training mode? Okay, here's a Go-Gurt, dude, in case you get lost. And navigating between the panels is super weird because they're not in clear left, right, up, down directions. It's all diagonally. Okay, now I want to complain about some media apps. Hulu is a pile of ass play. To start, you have this loud ass greeting that's louder than the swan song of a dying rat. Just shut the fuck up. And then you get to this page with some giant ass fonts and pictures that are constantly struggling to catch up with you. And then you're like, oh, I want to watch that one show that was the show that I was watching before. So you go over to the keep watching tab. But then Hulu is like, suck turds, kid, and never shows the most recent show you were watching, but instead some random ass shit you watched like 5 months ago, or maybe a show that you've never even watched. And when the episode of a long series you're watching ends, fuck auto-playing the next one and skipping the credits like Netflix. You're gonna see it. You're gonna look. You're gonna watch. You're gonna find out who made this show. Oh, and watching Hulu on an Xbox One. Yeah, can we go ahead and get a sword in my chest? No episode of The Bachelor Winter Games is worth that shit. Amazon Prime is just as awesome because you get this really cool loading transition anytime you go between categories that really gives you time to like reflect and like think about what do I feel like watching. Also, the only way to browse what Amazon Prime has is with this very cool sideways scroll bar, but don't go too fast, otherwise you're gonna have this really cool stutter that makes you want to pee your pants and throw up at the same time. At least Hulu lets you see a bunch of shit at once you pick a specific category. Oh fuck, they got Parent Trap on here? Alright, Hulu might not be that bad. On the other hand, Netflix, for the most part, has gotten pretty good over the years. Yeah, they only use less than half the screen space to show the different titles, but you get a nice preview and a description of whatever you're looking at. Scrolling is silky smooth and doesn't stutter like Amazon. They let you skip the intro to The Office so you don't have to hear that loud ass theme song at 2 a.m. They autoplay episodes because they know you're a piece of shit, and they actually do a good job of keeping track of what you were in the middle of watching. I guess the point I'm trying to make with this video is that a good UI can go a long way, and the best indication that a UI is good is that you never even thought about it. Because a good user interface stays the hell out of your way and does not enjoy wasting your precious time on Dog's green earth. Also, holy shit, new Snapchat is the fucking worst. Let it rip, cowboy.
Alright, partner. Okay, let's do this.
Thank you, college dropout, for the sweet-ass graphics card. Now I'm gonna shout out all my little patrons and my stars. They're from Space Low Genghis, Keenan, Lock and Key. On they go like Pineapple Boy and damn it, Stevie G. Anthony Medeiros, Sakil and Jamu. Kevin Mack become a little wiener flasher oven Sue. Barely legal Theo Phillips, so all I'm like two. Kirby Casey, Heavy, Younger, Austin really loves you. Young Chisholm, Eric, Kalika, C-Map, or McGee, two loaves of bread, Crimson Crusade, Alec Clements, and Nick Morley. Small man, Robert E.O. Speedwagon, Jim McKay, K-Dog, Murphy, Joseph, Evans, Phillip, Backto, Artist Dan, Chase Collins, Noah Heckin, Rad, Trevor, Sever, Steve O'Nick, Martin, Legendary, Outlaw, and Scott, Jacob, Sam, Mauricio, Hot Boy for Wednesdays, goddamn, God.
Every rose has its thorn.
Every
Every night has its dawn.
every dawn and dawn.
Just like every cowboy sings a sad song.
Sad song. This is my best friend Jake. We just moved in together. We're gonna start streaming some games on twitch.tv/NakeyJakey Streamer Boy. At least that's the name I have on there. Vote for Nader.
Ralph Nader, motherfucker. Yeah.